Hey,
Hey,
we're sitting here with Michael and talking about winter solstice in general, and also winter solstice is approaching right now, year 2025. So we are in the energy of 2025, and we're talking about the winter solstice also in general. Wonderful time, powerful time. So, Michael.
yeah, winter solstice is on the 21st of the 12th at 5:03 in the afternoon. So it's a very important time, the winter solstice, because basically the new year starts. Starts with winter. We have 4 times 3 months, and so very particular energies flow through these areas.
Very particular energies. Well,
Yeah.
what do you say about those
The,
particular
the
energies?
particular energies. In winter, you have an energy that is under the earth, basically, because you don't see much growing on top of the earth. Maybe here in Finland, we have pine trees, but everything else has shed the leaves and there's no flowers coming out of the ground. So it's a time where you go in and then inside the life, um, what's the right word, ruminates or builds itself for the next 1 year cycle. After that one comes spring, and then comes summer, then comes autumn, and then again it starts into the winter period. And that time is always on the 21st of the December of the year.
So, what's so special about the energy of the winter solstice? Because we, Michael and I, we always have a very special time. It's almost like really a new year. And for us, it's the biggest celebration of the winter, if
Yeah,
not the whole year.
but the way it has developed in my life is that I had a alchemy teacher in Sydney when I was living in Australia, and we learned how to do a ceremony over the period of the winter solstice. And that involved either 3 days or 5 days. We mostly did 5 days. And then throughout that time period, you access a energy which my teacher's name was Glenn Brady. He described it that there is an etheric earth. We have the physical earth where we are living on. And so the etheric earth comes back from the future, so to say, and goes back in time into the past. And our physical earth goes forward into the future. And they meet for those period of 3 days or 5 days. And
I'll
so
ask you to again repeat that one because it's kind of, I think, quite a new concept for people, like etheric future coming.
yeah. There are different energy states, basically. So from the way he explained it is that you have an earth which is etheric and it's energetically very different. It's not as the physical earth, but it has laws as well as the physical earth has laws like gravity and these sort of things. And that goes backwards in time. So he told us that the etheric earth comes from the future, moves back in time, and the period over the winter solstice is where those two meet. And so if you know that, you can do meditations or read it happenings with other people, where you can start talking about what do you perceive, what comes back from the following year.
That is the key for
That's the key.
tonight's
So
talking.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you can go in there, and then what it requires really is that you go into a state of meditation where you just open up and you receive what energies come towards you from the earth that comes from the future back into this time period and over the winter solstice. And so we did it in relationship to myself and relationship to Mario and relationship to the people that were doing that together with us. And then they did it for us. So we had a like 2 or 3 hours on usually we did it on the 21st. And then we share what we perceive, what happens in the future, on whatever level, physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever, business like, on the world itself, all of these things you can see and you get perceptions over the time period when you look. And because of this meeting of the etheric earth and the physical earth, it's much easier to do in those days.
Yeah, it's been my experience of those days has been that it is very interesting. It's very it's a lot of fun, and actually always reflecting back to what was saying, a lot of it came to be true. So um, practically, we always took a piece of paper and a pen, and like I sat in a meditation, and I was I was receiving, and I am receiving again on next coming Sunday. Um, what I get about Michael or somebody else, if I've been doing it with somebody else, what do comes to me about the coming year in relation to the highest good in love and truth for him. And then, or before that, he, Michael, does the same to himself. So I do it to him and he does it to himself. And then we swap. He receives what he perceives about me and the coming year, and we write that down. And then when he's finished, then I sit and receive what I receive about my coming year. And then you can do that in a group. Uh, every can, everybody can do it to each other or whatever you like. It's fun. So, can you tell more about them? Why practically, easily understandable way the period um, of that time. Can you still say something about that the time that why is it what happens in that receiving? Because it's quite amazing
Yeah,
time.
because I think one of the biggest influences was that when you start looking into what happens within the next year, you focus on the future.
You mean is it was?
No, you focus on what comes in the next year.
Yeah.
So this solstice now, I would focus on what comes in 2026,
Aivan.
right?
Yeah.
And so I go through that, and then in that particular time period, let's say I would have an issue that I'm dealing with right now, let's say financial or personal or relationship or something like that. And I can't look really because I'm so involved in it. There's emotions coming up with it, and there's thought patterns coming up with it, and old reaction patterns coming up with that. And so when I then sit and I look at, okay, now when I look at the same issue over the next year, and I can get a perception energetically of what will happen within the next year, for that period, I'm able to let that go, what is happening right now, and look into the future. So let's say there is a relationship that I would have difficulties with right now, and I look into the future and I get the message there's absolutely nothing that comes as a negative result, for instance, because of what is going on right now. Then it's much easier to just say, oh, wow, this is great that I can see it. It might happen in whatever March, April of the coming year. And then it's much easier then to let go of it rather than being stuck with a situation that is bothering me right now and I see absolutely no way to get out because I'm too tense when I'm looking. So in this particular time period, when we look into the future over that over these 3 days or 5 days, whatever it is, and then I get new impulses or new ideas or intuition, let's say, intuition would be most correct, of what will happen. So that can be, let's say it could be financial, that I look at, okay, now, right now, let's say I don't have enough money and I'm getting so worried about it and I don't know what to do and how to pay the rent and whatever. And suddenly I see that it's absolutely no issue at all throughout the next year. The money will come from somewhere. And I can even look, where is the money coming from? Well, somebody might offer a job, or I might find it, or in any way, money usually comes. So in that way, then this particular, let's call it the ceremony, helps in opening up situations that I might not have an answer to right now in the present.
Yeah, so you get a bigger
And you
picture
get a bigger picture. So
easier than
yeah,
in a moment.
yeah,
Yeah. And if I'm perceiving right what you are saying, it is because the time comes to meet from future and now, and it's kind of explains the timeless also nicely. We have always access to the timeless, but would you say that that time makes it easier just to relax and allow the timeless because it's easier available. So really, even if you have difficulties accessing that at other times, I mean, in the winter solstice, there's some kind of a more power to be able to let go of the small me to relax into the bigger
yeah.
me.
It's because the information is accessible
Yeah,
as the etheric earth comes back,
yeah,
where it already happened in the etheric earth.
exactly.
So you just have to tune in. And that basically means all you need to do is you tune in as if you would, let's say, open a television or open your phone and you tune into what is the message that I'm getting. But if you don't do that, you just don't know. You're a little bit in the unknown.
Yeah,
But if you have an idea of what comes within the next year, it's making it much more easy to
yeah.
focus about it. And also, if you want to, you organize your life around it.
Mm.
Um, So just this whole idea about that there's an etheric earth and there's a physical earth, these were alchemical themes that I learned with my teacher there. And that's not that well known. There's a lot of different teachings out there in the world right now, very, very esoteric. And some of them are known, many of them are not known. And in the normal scientific Western type of thinking that we have been brought up with, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you go into the more alchemical way of thinking, where you see that, okay, energies change, different things are available that I have never ever heard about, that I haven't learned. So, but it's still happening. And then, so in that way, you open up to that particular alchemical process where the earth is coming back as a informational field etherically and meets the physical earth. And so when you tune into that, you have access to it. It's almost as if you would be talking to somebody who's only there 3 days a year, who can tell you, okay, now this is what's going to happen in the next year, and then moves away. And so you can't talk anymore. But then when you use that time, you just utilize that time and just you can ask questions, what about the money situation? What about my friendship situation? What about the political situation? What about what happens on Earth? Anything basically. These informations become available there. You get
Mhm.
very clear insights, let's call them. It happens via intuition. And what for me always has been important that, that I always look at, okay, now what is the state of love? Because I have the sense that the state of love is our original state of being. And then, if you look into the world, everything is being made. And so a lot of that is being made so that love is being put down and people talk about politics and whatever. And so, I'm always interested in what way does love manifest itself within the next year? And then also what can I do,
Mm.
in relation to that? and participate in that whole process, which is a very nice sensation inside where I have the sense that I'm actually participating in life
Mm.
rather than just sitting by the side and looking at
That's
it.
exactly what came to my mind, that it's actually opens you the more trust in your own ability, so that you're actually not a victim of circumstances or some other seer needs to see for you, but actually you, Michael, I can sit down and it comes to me. So I can own my own energy. I can trust in my own intuition, and it's life actually shows itself to me, and not just as a big spiritual idea or something. It's very practical and um, actually easy when you just do it. So I highly recommend you do it. And can you, Michael, say also just once more how you can practically do it? We sort of
Yeah,
said that already, but again,
it's
what do? You sit down.
yeah, you sit down basically, enter the state of meditation, which means that you are in the body, you are present, and you are open to receiving energies. Energies can be information, it can be feelings, it can be body sensations. So, you're open to that and you're in the present moment, you're there, and then you notice what goes on inside, and you might want to write it down, so you have a proof of what actually went through you, because some of these things come fast. You can share it with other people and then have it there for the whole next year as a reference, basically, that, this is what I saw a year ago. These are the energies that are available. This is what I can do. This is how I will feel. This is how my body will feel. Or this is what I've been told within that period of time. That's what I should do. So I do it. So things like this, it becomes very practical and very applicable to day-to-day life in yourself and with other people.
And in my experience, I notice that when I do that in the winter solstice time, I empower myself with my ability to understand that this is, even though it could be called mystic, but actually it's very practical, everyday living life. And at this particular time in the winter, this is possible. And this is a time when most people are quite busy. So, so it's very good to, even if you have a short time, to do it. It doesn't have to take a long time. You just sit there, you give yourself to that moment, take a piece of paper and a pen, and you say, okay, it's a vision time. And
Yeah.
let's do it, life. And
Yeah. And then
it doesn't have to
you
take
sit there
time.
and you write down what you see for yourself, about yourself.
Yeah.
Then you can also write down what you see about other people, if you wish to do that.
Yeah, if you are with the other person.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
If you don't do it alone, yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you do it alone, then you just sit down and you write down what do you see, about
Yeah.
your life in the coming year as information that comes towards you from the future. Let's call it like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because in timeless there is no future, and in the winter solstice time, the time comes to the now easier. So basically, the fact of I and all the time is here now comes more easily real. Isn't that so?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so wonderful. You have something else to say about that?
No, actually, nothing comes up right now. It's really a nice thing to do because, it just gives you a lot of information about who you are, where you're going within the next time period. And if you're doing it with other people, it's really fun to do.
Mm.
You know, you can share with other people who you are, they share who they are, honestly, you know, what is going on. And then in that way, life gets richer.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And um, the winter solstice time, even if you don't want to do this vision thing and write it down, it's a wonderful time to leave the old, let the new in, because it is a very, very particular energy to it that you can tap into it. Wouldn't that be
Yeah,
so? Even if you
yeah,
don't want to have any visions.
yeah. And the visions can also just happen.
Yeah.
So it pays to, it pays is a nice word. Um, it pays to be there, be present, and then, you know, as much as possible, because that is the key to everything anyway, you know,
Mm.
to be present. Yeah, I don't have anything else that comes up regarding
Yeah.
that right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
So have a very beautiful winter solstice.
And have a nice, nice Christmas and, you know, all the beautiful love and whatever comes with it. And then we'll see you next year. Thank
Mm.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us.